That's all I got to say. You got anything else for the chief?
Yeah, say your name.
What was his name?
Thank you.
Keith Diggs. I'm sorry, yeah, I didn't ask you.
Thank you, Miss Blair.
All right, so
Can I say
special
something?
further discussion or comments, questions?
They already
Public
closed.
comments?
Have you already closed it?
Closed, yes ma'am, I apologize.
I just said we need to use that where we got the cars parked on the thing. That sidewalk's gonna get messed up. That's more money. Our kids are walking across there because they can't walk on the sidewalk. I'm sorry, I had to say that.
All right, so roll call this one? Yes, sir. All right, I'm gonna start now, Mr. Alford.
Yes.
By the way, Lynn swear not to say that.
Yes.
All right, and Campbell, I would say no. But it passes 3-2. First reading. All right. So moving on to, we had 3 yeses and 2 noes, correct? All right, so first reading passes on ordinance 1535. Item number H, I've got Mr. Bradford signed up to speak. Are you on standby?
Just on
as
standby.
usual? All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're an old pro at this, right? All right, item H.
Ordinance number 1529, an ordinance of the City of Live Oak, Florida, amending the future land use classification to 22.81 acres, more or less, small scale, of land of the future land use plan map of the City of Live Oak Comprehensive Plan pursuant to an application CPA 24-06 by the property owners and/or their authorized representative under the amendment procedures established in sections 163.3161 through 163.3215 Florida statutes as amended, and Article 3 of Land Development Regulations of the City of Live Oak, Florida, providing for a change in the assigned future land use classification from residential low density to residential high density on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Live Oak, Florida, providing for severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, authority, and an effective date. Public hearing.
All right, you good? Everything okay? You all right? All right, so, open it up for public comment, public hearing / comments.
And I think
Anybody?
what we're going to do, Mr. President,
Sorry.
is, as part of the public hearing, staff should give its input, and probably makes sense that staff give theirs first, so that it can have an explanation of the overall project.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Ray.
Thank you. George Curtis, Development Manager, City of Live Oak. This is a future land use change on property. It's come before the Planning and Zoning Board at a prior meeting, and they made a recommendation for approval. It also came before the council 2 months ago for the first reading, which passed, which brings us to the second and final reading. And based upon the recommendations and the criteria that was evaluated, staff also recommends approval of this request. And if you have any specific questions, we're happy to answer them.
All right. Now we go to public comment time. Anybody? Mr. Bradford, any input? All right, we'll close the public hearing section. Council, it'll be the pleasure of you guys over there. And gals.
Offer motion for ordinance 1529.
All right, we have a motion?
Second.
And a second. Our discussion?
Again, this is going from low density to high density. And what are those numbers again? I don't have my minutes on my registration.
Mr. Kirk?
Low density is approximately half acre lots, so it would be 2 units per acre. And high density allows for up to 20 units per acre.
Up to 20 minutes per acre. Again, here we go. But this is in another side of town. This is over here in Mr. Jefferson's area. Where we're concerned about what happens in certain parts of town, certain parts of the city where we're populating and saying the number of units that are allowed. But then it doesn't seem like there's any concern about if it's, just long as it's what they call it, but not in my backyard. With these apartments and moving from where you could only put 2 units, now you can put 20 units on it.
There's no way.
I take issue with that, but I said it last month, say it again. We need to be concerned about what happens throughout this entire city, not just what happens only in a portion of the city. We need a comprehensive plan. We need to know, we need to design what we want our city to look like, not just piecemeal it together. And until we do that, we are going to get a hodgepodge of everything.
Exactly.
So, and nothing else.
Further comments, discussion?
No, this is, in my district, Anna Avenue North, Hamilton Avenue, and, King Street as well. My district does have a whole lot of old houses, dilapidated homes, and all of that is going down, and we are growing. Anna Avenue is growing. There are 2 or 3 more double wides put on that property, brand new, over in that area, get more kids in that area as well. So I'm delighted that District 1 is getting rid of some of that old stuff and getting up some newer stuff and newer homes, because you got to go somewhere. So I'm very delighted with what's going on in our neighborhood. As long as we keep it just right and nothing crazy. So I'm content. But a lot of my folks are homeless or whatever. They need places to go and a place to stay.
Are they going to be able to work?
Affordability, if we put a $25,000 limit on something, somebody still won't be able to afford it.
Any further comments, discussion? All right, this is the final reading. Do we need to roll call this one as well?
Roll call.
All right, roll call. Mr. Alford?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
And I would be yes as well.
Mm.
All right, so final reading on ordinance 1529 passes. Moving on now to item 6I.
Ordinance number 1530, an ordinance of the city of Live Oak, Florida, amending the zoning district to 0.588 acres more or less of land on the official zoning atlas of the city of Live Oak. Land development regulations pursuant to an application LER 24-09 by the property owners and/or their authorized representative under the amendment procedures established in Article 3 of the Land Development Regulations, providing for a change in the assigned zoning district from residential single-family manufactured home to RSF MH2 to residential office RO on certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of Live Oak, Florida, providing for severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, authority, and effective date.
I'll open the public hearing / comment section with Mr. Curtis. Any insight?
Thank you, George Curtis, Development Manager, City of Live Oak. This is a second and final reading of a zoning change at 514 Duval Street Northwest. The property and the matter did come before the Planning and Zoning Board at a prior meeting where they recommended approval, and the City Council did pass the first reading last month based upon this request. The applicant did meet the criteria to justify the zoning change on the land use in existence prior to this request already supports this change to residential office. So staff's recommendation is approval. And there hasn't been any feedback that we've received as a result of the advertising or the public hearing signage in opposition that we're aware of.
All right, comments from the public concerning this? Yes, sir. You can, yeah, that'll be fine for tonight. You just come.
My name is Christopher. I'm coming on behalf of the family and my in-laws.
What's your last name?
What's your last name, sorry?
Gonzalez. We just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to be able to be able to develop, and whatever the outcome is, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Any further comments? Questions? Yes, sir.
Mr. Carroll, just food for thought here things. I'm pretty certain, I'm not 100%, that this is a part of the town that is a lot of old houses, that kind of stuff, really worn down. So this would be an opportunity to help improve that area. I don't live in that particular neighborhood, so I don't really have a dog in the fight, so to speak. But it would be an opportunity for improvement, so something to consider.
Thank you, sir. Further comments?
Commissioner, Councilman Black. So, is that in your district?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Cheryl Cook, 125 2nd Street, Northwest Miami, Florida. Like I said before, we live pretty well on 2nd Street off of 129. This is on Duval. And like he said, he doesn't live there, I live. It is historical houses down there. People's trying to fix some of them up. Some of them has been fixed up. And I don't like the idea of somebody coming in, which he did a good job in the one that he remodeled there. But then how many more is going to go on there? 4 more units, or possibly 2 apartments? Is that what's going on there?
Yes, that's where I was.
The zone change would allow the possibility for additional units to be put on the property besides the existing house that's there.
How many?
I believe it could be based on the acreage up to 4.
What size?
Separate units?
There was, yeah, they could be separate or they could be attached, like duplex style.
Oh, well, like a quadplex?
Could be a quadplex, I mean, all that needs to be engineered and determined,
Unbelievable.
by, according to the building code, so we're not at that point yet.
I've been seeing a lot of this building going on, and I know that we need it, and I know that we need housing. But I'm asking, how much is the rent going to be on these things?
I think.
And people afford $1,700 a month rent? Maybe some can. But I oppose it, I really do, that you're going to crowd us up, I came from Orlando, I know all about this, believe me. And it sounds good to bring in progress and this and that and the other, but you could take it to a place to where it will be destroyed. Who's going to Orlando to try to move in and live? My daughter's trying to get out of Orlando now. We got out 23 years ago. I'm hoping that this don't happen here. I'm not saying that we don't need some progress. I'm not saying that. But you do know too that we got 2 roads in, 2 roads out. We live on 2nd Street, trying to get out. I'm having to go all the way down to the cemetery to try to go to Publix. I'm having to go all the way down and catch me a red light to try to come back south on 129. And I see it to be a problem. Like I said, I live in the middle of it in Orlando, and I know you can take it so far and then all at once it all just falls in on you. Yeah. That's my feeling.
All right?
Well, it's not my feeling, it's even more my opinion.
Yes,
This is Cheryl Pruitt talking, been there, seen it happen.
Thank you.
Lynn Sweat, 9670 135th Lane. I live over in Gabby's, or in Sugar Mill Farms. Just want to kind of understand this a little bit. From what I'm reading here, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is only like a half an acre. Is this correct? And if so, are we talking about 4 homes put on this one piece of property plus the one that's already on it? And if so, what size homes are going to be on this property?
Again, it's not a question and answer
Okay,
session.
well, I mean,
Comments. Yes, ma'am.
Just so everybody can, you know,
Sure.
where we're looking, I mean, if that's the case, if we're looking at a half an acre with 4 more added to it, I mean, that's gonna be crowded. And then if we do this, then the next ones go over, are we just gonna start coming all the way down the line with a bunch of duplexes or, you know, it's, now we've got it right now where in the country area, if I'm not mistaken, you have to have 5 acres to put a home on it. Now we're going down to a half an acre and we're putting 4 or 5 homes on it. It's just my thought.
Yes, ma'am.
Individual 1770 Northeast Davis Street, Lava, Florida. I agree with you. I mean, I know we got a housing problem, but I work for the county, I see all kinds of stuff goes on too. And we're not trying to get like these big cities now.
Come on.
Just keep lives go small.
Yes.
If that's the case, we move to Jacksonville, somewhere we don't want to be. I've been here all my life. Let's keep, like we got it right here. We don't need all this expansion mess going on. We're not making enough money for the expansion with it. Y'all sitting there crying, the city's broke, but y'all still want to put stuff in here. Makes sense to me. That's all I got to say.
Yes, sir. Mr. Bradford, it's getting to be the point where it's kind of, thank you. Yeah, thanks. All right, any further public comments? All right, hearing none, we'll close the public hearing section and bring it to the pleasure of the council. Reminder, we'll need a motion and a second to discuss.
Motion for 1530.
All right, we have a motion for item ordinance 1530. Again, we're obligated to make a determination here tonight, so don't have to.
You got a second?
All right, so I'm sorry. Motion and a second. So now we have discussion.
And I agree with many of you out there. We still have to put a cap on building and all of that, housing and all that. And the more houses you got, the less expensive it's going to be to be able to rent a place or lease a place. Right now, the market is just hot. The market is hot. Folks are trying to get all they can get for rent. Out at Gold Grove Circle, there's a home for about $1,700 at Gold Grove Circle. And that's ridiculous. But nevertheless, some point in time, we have to curb our building and everything else. But right now, we're just looking at what's pretty much going on. And folks are moving into our neighborhood, love our area, moving to the state of Florida. And hopefully we will put a cap on it, where we'll stop worrying about houses popping up everywhere. But right now, the lack of homes that we have, that's the biggest problem we have.
Like a property, too.
Further discussion?
Tables go look like a cemetery.
Hearing none, we'll go to a roll call vote again. Starting with Mr. Alford, you're the lucky one because you're away at the end. I mean,
No.
Yes.
And I would be yes as well. All right, so final reading of ordinance 1530 approved. I have a Ms. Cochran for for item J. There will be a public comments time as well. Sorry, public hearing, so if you can speak then if you'd like, or if you want to set the time. But I'll allot you your 3 minutes plus whatever you need.
Ordinance number 1531, an ordinance of the city of Live Oak, Florida, amending the zoning district to 0.282 acres more or less of land on the official zoning atlas of the city of Live Oak Land Development Regulations pursuant to an application LDR 25-01 by the property owners and/or their authorized representative under the amendment procedures established in Article 3 of the Land Development Regulations, providing for a change in the assigned zoning district from residential single family 2, RSF 2, to residential office RO on certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of Live Oak, Florida, providing for severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, authority, and an effective date.
I'll open it up now for a public hearing section, starting off with Mr. Curtis.
Thank you, George Curtis, Development Manager for the City of Live Oak. This is the second and final reading of a zone change from single family to residential office located at 704 Duval Street Northeast. This did go before the Planning and Zoning Board where they recommended approval, and the City Council did pass it on first reading. Staff's recommendation is approval based upon the criteria for zoning changes in the land development regulations. And the applicant's intent, I believe they've already pulled a demolition permit to remove the blighted home that's on that property, and their intent is to build one duplex on this property, which is what the zoning change would allow for. And so with that, I'll leave you with any questions you may have.
All right, thank you, Mr. Curtis. We'll open the public hearing section and then bring it back to council. Mr. Cochran. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm sorry.